What's up, everybody? Shadow Gaming and Music here, and welcome back to more Great Ace Attorney 1. I don't remember what the name of the game is, but here we go. And we're back. Last time, we finally got the mysterious woman who turned out to be a very angry Brit, at least in my head canon. And we were able to poke some holes, but apparently she has a bag that considerably does not have a handgun in it, so we were about to lose. But we got this new picture as evidence, and we're trying to pinpoint a significance out of it so that we don't go to jail. So let's continue forth and see what it is. The only thing I can actually figure is this dude's tattoo, but that doesn't feel like it's important. But the only that's the only thing I can think of.
Yes.
Look at this, here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Oh, you noticed. You had a reaction to that. I don't think I didn't see that. My powers of observation are keen. Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Piffle? You're a piffle. Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector.
The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? Come on, it has something to do with this case. It obviously does. In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. You know what? It's true, but also shut up. There's something important. It looks like a damn bull. Is there something here that looks like a bull that could have... that's important?
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
Come on! There's something there. Tell everyone here that they're all hogwash and they're all stupid and dirty and bloody fools. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and other university staff. Oh, another lunch appointment so you can murder someone else? Hey, if you let her go right now, you're about to have another murder on your hands. Lunch with her seems to be a death sentence, I'm just saying. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. You don't make plans when you go to court! Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. She's not gonna sleep with you, freaking snaku head! I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn has something to... Do you believe this burn does have... Oh. Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? I couldn't figure out how I was supposed to word that. To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. And in the hope that I don't bury myself in the process.
Yes, you're right.
I am?
If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again.
Just give it up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then would you allow it?
I would, yes.
To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed the burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Thank you, someone else noticed it. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves that what that burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court.
Alright, what do we have that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial? Do we have anything that looks like a freaking bowl? A waiter's business card. Huh. I didn't notice it before, but right there, on the plate! It's a burn mark from the plate! But how did he get that burn mark if he didn't eat? Oh, that's all we got, but it's right there.
Yes!
What's this, counsel? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. That is incredibly true. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You're just saying, you son of a bitch. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore! What? How?
Objection!
Shut up and let me finish! You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. Oh, I plan to. What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? Baby, it is the frickin' plate! The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate?
Oh! Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival.
Huh.
This emblem on the plate. It's the Chicago Bulls emblem. I guess the people of this restaurant are Bulls fans. This is before the Bulls even existed. This is before Chicago even existed. But they're still Bulls fans. Sad to say. And the victim's burn. There you go. Are exactly the same shape. Ah!
Ryunosuke, you genius.
I could kiss you right now. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. And that also means the plate was on his side. But if he wasn't eating, why was it on his side? Now this just opens up a new thought process. But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
Thank you, Kazuma. Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchi, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But, enough with your butts, you don't have one.
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out.
If it was that well defined, someone would have known he got burnt.
This was no mild burn, to be sure, that's for sure.
Can you be more specific, Inspector? Specific, Inspector. Ugh.
Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
Oh, God.
It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
Yeah, that burns hurt. Fire bad. Which means he had to have been burned right when he died at some point.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter! He worked for a waiter for a week. If you're undercover, you stick to your job. You become the person. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that.
And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day, or any before it.
That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
What are you suggesting?
Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day,
that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
And then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie? Well, yes, I suppose. Haha, suck it. Except not really, don't do that. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
Ugh. I almost don't believe it. Hironosuke, do you think?
Can it really be true? He was already dead. I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. A trap laid by who, though? That's the question. My bet is on the English woman. It's always the British. If there's a Brit in the room, it's usually them. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. He had to have been. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. I'm kind of thinking of doing something where whenever there's like multiple options, that at the end of the episode, I'll put the options, like what the dialogue options of the incorrect answers, just so that we can keep the main video moving along. So we'll see. Because sometimes the incorrect answers have really funny dialogue, so I just want to be able to see those too. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already
dead?
Haru, calm down. No, don't get your axe. I know how axe crazy Haru can be. Stop!
You shouldn't annoy a girl with an axe.
It's funny because she has like the puffy dress and the freaking stick mask. I don't know what those masks are called, but those stick masks that freaking Haru's persona has. This is just Haru. Haru, how could you? You're such a floof. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. There you go. That's the confidence I'm looking for. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness!
Order! Order! Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency! This is just another ridiculous ploy by the Ricky student! But clearly, he has no grasp of the facts!
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon? You also have no grasp of your hairline either. Shit's ugly as hell, bruh.
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while in the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Get her, Kazuma! Oh. Let's see how you get out of this one, you little Brit.
Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency, shut up, ouchie! I'll stick my foot in your ass and actually give you an ouchie. Oh, she angry now. She about to miss her lunch. She was about to have lunch at Cheesecake, at the Cheesecake Factory. Those reservations have been in the freaking works for months.
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. She do got a cake though. The dress ain't hiding anything. Oh, that's a creepy smile now. What was that smile? Uh-oh. Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Oh, whoa, hey! Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. And she speaks Japanese. Miss Brett? You speak Japanese? How dare you make us go through all that? Even the detective is surprised. Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all. She speaks. The woman speaks.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Jesus, girl, that's racist! You can't say that! Everyone's offended, goddamn. But it seems the men of this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. I'll show you chivalrous virtues. Wait a second. Wait, no. That didn't mean what I was trying to make it mean. So, I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. She is incredibly full of herself. Well, she is British, though. Guess it's not that much of a surprise. She really is full of beans. Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. She's not gonna sleep with you. You disgust her. She just said that. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. Simp!
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson.
So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Interesting indeed. Alright, let's see what her new testimony's got for us. The victim's death. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man butts his wrist like that. Excuse my terrible British accent, but I have a terrible British accent. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Did you have to say that part? Did that have to be a part of the testimony?
That most captivating and beautiful.
She insulted the police in this country! Judge, you're a simp too, man!
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you.
It will be when I expose it for it is. and expose her for being a bitch in sheep's clothing. Easy does it, or in swan's clothing as it may be. I hope this is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. God damn! Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. She really pulled the, with all due respect. With that, I'm not trying to insult anyone, but your language sucks. God damn. Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. Jesus Christ, bruh. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. She ain't gonna sleep with you. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Amen? Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. He does not miss. That's why if I shoot my shot with you, even if you racist, we ain't gonna miss.
I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial.
I only need one. I only need one.
If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
Oh, Lord. Crystal. Let's go, Ryunosuke. Wake your ass up. Pump yourself up. Pump of the jam. Pump up the jam. I don't know why I said pump up the jam. Anyways, yes, Your Excellency.
Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
Pump it up. Alright, here we go. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burns his wrist like that. Alright, as always, press everything. When the waiter brought your steak, the professor and you raised your glasses and toast. We already established. Oh, yeah, she took the glass with her.
Yes!
Are you sure you don't know? But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been oh God, wait, why are you looking down there, girl, huh? You interested in something? You can't not have noticed, can you? Huh? What? Ah! Oh. What fun! You hadn't realized. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. My bad! Why didn't you tell me? True! To be fair, Cosmo wasn't looking down there. He's a gentleman. Not like this lady. This lady ain't a gentlewoman. She was looking right at his fly. Right at his gentle parts. Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Jesus, I hate this lady. She's still hot though. Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. At least he admits it.
Yes!
Well, I can't. Anyway. Alright, next part. The detective looks so defeated, poor guy. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses and a toast. Okay, tell me more about that. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink. Correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although... Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you.
Oh, what?
I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the better others in the Caribbeans, bless you.
So close, Ouchie, so close. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway. Okay, interesting. So we can't know if he actually drank out of the water. Don't know if that has anything to do with it yet. As far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. Okay. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes.
Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only
Oh god.
it can only have been the bullet from the gun that you put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Right, because it would have been. Does that mean he was already dead the entire time? Wait, what?
Yes, that's true. If it had cooled down even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that.
And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, it's a complete waste of time.
God damn, that voice hurts.
I concur. Professor Ouchie is right.
I need water. God damn, doing that freaking shrill ass annoying toad voice for Ouchie is not easy. Okay. There's some other way. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without a trace, please do show me. What do I have in evidence? Do I have anything? No exit wound. The bullet did not pass through the body. That's why she took the glass. He didn't die. Remember, they don't have an autopsy report, so they only deduce cause of death by what they see. They don't have anything to prove, or at least to test, that he had poison. But do I show that, or do I press? I feel like I have to press. What do I show? Do I show the picture with the carbonated water? Without leaving a trace? If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height. However a person's life is taken, there are always telltale signs on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. Hell, your flawless investigation has been really flawed so far. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Ouchie, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions.
Way of killing someone that leaves no trace.
We need some evidence to back us up here.
Yes, evidence. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Yet she knows. Which one would it be, though? Would it be this? Because it's the only thing that shows the entire bottle and the glass. Like, it has to be this, right?
Yes!
It's not this? Damn it! The statement contradicts the facts as demonstrated by this evidence. This is my first penalty.
As far as I can tell, there is nothing untoward about this evidence.
But that...
Pull yourself together. You look as though your eyes are about to pop out of your head.
I can't help that. It's just my look. It's not that. Do I have anything to present then? It says show, if there's any way a man's life can be taken, show her. But I don't really have anything that proves it. Let me press the last statement and see what happens.
Yes!
This is true. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. The carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Why are you saying that with such pride? She may be insulting, but she's right. She may be a racist asshole, but she's right. Exactly. Which means that even... Bro! Dude? Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Sure, I totally believe you.
A killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful.
S to the I to the N to the P. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. Nah, he just sees the swan girl. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ryunosuke? Okay, I guess I just had to press everything and then go through. I think it's going terribly. Yeah, you're telling me. I got a penalty. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. Excuse me. We need to find a way to break her testimony or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be clues, some clues somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma? What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. Yeah, this dude's been really... Like, he looks out of it, and when we pressed her about that last one, it seemed like he reacted to something she said. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga, is he in tandem with her? Is he working with her? The detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Huh. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. You think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself... let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again, alright? The game just handing me the solution. Alright, press this again. Hosonaga, what are you hiding, bruh? Inferior, what do you mean by that? Yeah, blah 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 blah. Shut up, simp. No one cares about you.
Wait.
Right here. That even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. But what do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip.
True, except they lie, in which case they let everything slip.
However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down.
You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts.
It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought.
Sorry, pursue? Oh, okay, so we have the new mechanic of this game.
I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker.
What marker?
At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement.
Ah.
But by moving the marker left and right with left and right, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with A. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around.
Alright, so it looks like it's gonna be two people giving testimony at the same time for most of this game, if this is the gimmick of this game. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across with left and right on the D-pad, and focus on the detective, then pursue him with A and see what's on his mind. Here we go. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Alright. Excuse me!
Ugh, what's the meaning of this?
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply.
It looked like you were thinking about something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say.
If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? The meaning is that your hand is probably all sweaty now and it's disgusting. It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works?
Absolutely not.
Hmm?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness.
Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved with the case.
Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes.
do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett?
Well, do ya? Do ya, lad?
Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak.
Interesting. What do you got to say? Oh, she doesn't like that.
The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless.
What do you really mean by that?
I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done.
Oh, calm down. Oh no, I just had a thought. I just had a thought. A crime scene thief? He takes things from the scene of the crime. He took the carbonated water, I'm assuming, to preserve it. Is this dude poisoned? This dude's dying right in front of us. Oh God. I didn't think it was gonna come into play.
I probably should have, though. Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. He took it. Oh, and she didn't know! Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now.
It's not that bad.
But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world.
It ain't in modern Ace Attorney times, I'll tell you that much.
The time is coming. I guarantee it.
I hate to burst your bubble, man. Dude, did you drink it?
I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment.
Hey, you're a reasonable guy.
The court will accept a glass bottle of water as evidence.
Okay.
Miss Brett.
Is there anything we can check from that? We can check the label. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma?
I think it's French.
This must be very expensive water. When even water's expensive. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking.
Then go to France and ask.
You could just say that you don't know. Okay, so I can examine that there's still some in it. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had.
It looks like there's a little left in the bottle. Although it's just plain water now.
You know, I've been sweating so much. I'm absolutely parched. Don't drink it! No, 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 no! Ryunosuke, no! I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going.
No, Ryunosuke, can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence.
Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we?
You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke. In more ways than one.
I wonder, there be anything in this water?
What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden.
I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Glad me and you are on the same page, Ryunosuke. I don't know how much longer this case is going, but I think I'm about to end it here. Now that we got the new information, we're about to see how this goes. If the next episode ends up being super short because we're at the end of the case, I will amend it and connect the two episodes together. But if not, we'll see. Until then, as always, be happy, be safe, be healthy, and good night, everybody.